Yeah. What
No, nothing much.
the technical difficulty screen, classic.
That's quite beautiful.
The classic.
How is David here already?
Because David,
like seconds.
I may or may not have posted the link to Cal's Twitch chat in OH Bobby. may or may not. I'll let you decide.
Shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
David was here like seconds into the stream. My stream that I was streaming earlier.
Yeah. So was I. I was literally there like within 10 seconds.
That's true. Yeah, you and him.
I saw the MMD notification. I was like, click.
Yeah, and the notification won.
It did. But listen, I'm not gonna miss out on.
You gotta be patient. Just let the notification sit there and.
But what if I did? What if I did? But I could have missed out on a Depot 41.
That's true.
I could have. If I had waited, I could have missed out.
It's very true.
So, would you want that? Would you want me to miss out on the big run, Mike?
No, of course not.
The sneeze run too. The most.
I really. It's funny because like the start of the run, I felt the little bit of the tickle, and I was like,
I could tell, yeah.
No. And then like when I opened the gate, I was like, oh no, because you can even hear me kind of like breathe in through my nose, and I'm like, uh-oh.
I don't know what the rest of the year entails or what you're gonna pick for the mid-year review, but that is going in the mid-year review in the end of year review in some form. I can guarantee you that that's just too good.
It just happened like that. And it's funny. Yeah. It's like I never even thought of it at the time that it was like.
I've never had like an IRL sneeze run. I've never had an IRL sneeze run where I actually PB'd.
What? Yeah, I never even really thought about that when it happened. That it PB'd on the sneeze run.
I was honestly. You almost passed away too.
And clutching the sneeze run, right?
Yeah. I was mostly scared that the sneeze was gonna throw me off, and I was not gonna be able to do the lines or whatever because I was just sneezing. So I was afraid
I was just sneezing.
But it worked.
But you did it, and you made it work, and you got 41.
Yeah.
And you got to avenge your Christmas Day 42 with the unfortunate reporting.
Yeah, it had audio desync and shit.
Yeah.
That's when I was one of the last ones where I was like, man, I just got to get a new capture before I come back. I really truly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you probably did. I mean, that was the right call because if you hadn't, then I mean, what if you got deep? I mean, I guess. Well, now it's.
I could have got
again. Yeah, I mean, now it's proof again. It suddenly became proof again. And Depot 43,
magic.
Depot 43 just pulled an Undertaker and just rose up from the grave.
I saw that. I was like, damn, proof worthy, baby. I'll take it.
Yeah. I worked so goddamn hard to kill it proof. That was the one who fucking killed proof for 41.
Don't make me get 40, please.
Not anymore. Don't get credit for that now, Eric. You fucking denied,
right?
Mate.
Well, just like Alpha doesn't get credit for killing 43 or passing away 43.
Oh yeah. I'm a loud, dominant male.
That's true.
You better believe. I'm never.
That's the quote. I'm a loud, dominant male. MMD. Somebody quote that. Somebody quote that.
Isn't that just everyone's perception of the elite as a whole?
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Alpha gamers unite.
Alpha gamers
let's. So normally I kick this thing off, which I haven't done for a little while now, talking about any kind of times or any happenings around the elite that might have piqued your interest over the last little while. Any world records or anything that's kind of stood out in the last month or two?
I mean, Cali's 217.
That was really surprising.
I mean,
yeah,
I'd have to scroll back and see what else happened, but that's the one that jumps out at me immediately.
I mean, I just really didn't think it. Just I don't know. Most world records are unties and shit. They just kind of come out of nowhere now. You never really expect anyone's just gonna have the run, because it's always like theorized, but you never just think like today's the day, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I was at work when it happened too. Like I was working and I came back from my lunch and I happened to be checking. I think I happened to be checking Irie's Discord in the new times because my logic was like I don't want to scroll through lobby or through like OH lobby to see what happened. And Iris got that nice dedicated like new times feed, and I looked and I was like, wait a second, what in the actual fuck?
phew.
What in the actual fuck just happened today? Crazy.
So
I mean, I'm not
crazy.
surprised. I'm not surprised that it was Callie though, like because Callie's just fucking insanely
Well, it's-
good. He's just too good.
He's just pushing the boundaries, man. He's one of those like
And, like,
barrier breakers that can
And
just
if you
like
watch the
grind.
and if you watch the run, like it's insane because he does like what he does in his surface runs, where he just like looks like it's like that meme. in
Just
GoldenEye
doing his
where
thing.
just, like, yeah. It's like that meme where he's like, "Oh, GoldenEye runners, look at the ground." No, literally, that is Callie's running.
Yeah,
He's just
you-
looking
Oh,
at it.
he's just
Callie and
he's
Frost
just-
Tops are two
he's so
players that
optimal
do
in his
that.
speed run.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's got such like insane look down. It's like beyond
Yeah.
conceivable. Like I doesn't even know where he is at.
Like, especially like a level like I mean, like I guess like the argument would be like, oh, you know, after playing surface so long, you know, you get to look at like visual markers in the snow. But like for me, it's like you're looking down and it's just fucking white. It's like
Yeah,
how the
it's
fuck-
like-
like how the-
Oh, there's little like black dots here and
Yeah.
there. It's like
yeah.
they're everywhere.
I haven't played
You're
F1
supposed to
yet, but
distinguish
like,
some of this stuff.
The pattern repeats though too, so you need to know that which white dot, which black dot is which black
Yeah,
dot relative to
exactly.
the position you're in.
I have a
It's
feeling
like
that
you're
when
a
I
fish
play
in a
the
fish tank.
I have a feeling like when I play the surfaces, I'm gonna end up being like birdie and getting lost.
No, it definitely happens.
Yo, what's up, Jack?
G'day, Jack. I guess it's only fresh happening, but the White TED 22, of course.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, again, not unexpected because he's been grinding for that for
Yeah,
like
that's
72 years approximately.
it's true.
The
mean-
third person to tie 22.
Yeah, that was just
Or third person
Allegedly.
to get achieve 22. Sorry.
Allegedly.
yeah.
I want to believe. I want to believe. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see. It's cool to actually see a
Yeah,
completed
no, it's actually
2.3 run. Like, not that a non-completion doesn't look like it. But
that strat is just so insane too. Like,
the-
like it's way too big brain for me. I'm like and that would also mean I would have to play Frigate Agent, which I'm not all about. I'm just not about that. So you know,
who wants to play Frigate Agent? No thanks.
yeah, it's my oldest PR and will remain my Frigate Agent 32 will remain my oldest PR until I get around to playing Frigate Agent, which is the fuck knows.
It's just one of those levels where I'm like, nah, it's on my to-do list. It's not like something I would hate to do. I
The
just
bottom
feel
of my
like
to-do list.
I'm not one who's like consistent enough just to like nail those consistent runs. So I'd have to like be in the mood for it, you know.
It's down
Just,
there
like,
for me with like
bang out
Cradle,
runs.
Jungle.
Well, I mean, Cradle. Speaking of Cradle, you know, JD's completed the 33
Cradle's
sweep.
monotonous, but Jungle just like feels like pulling teeth. Like
I
Jungle's
tried playing
just
Jungle.
swimming through the sloggy bogs. It's just so annoying.
I tried playing Jungle for like 5 minutes to try to lower my double O time of 347, which I got like in 17,000 years ago, and I'm like, nope, this is not happening. I cannot play this level. It fucking sucks.
So Eric,
Those trees are like not made out of normal materials. They're made out of like sticky, like gummy trees that like just grab you and slow you like molasses.
Like, because I had made some time cuts on some control, so I was like, okay, I guess I have to at least try training Jungle now, like to try to
Note that
maintain
real quick.
Yeah, knock something out. Maybe I can like knock a
EVs
minute
go.
off.
now
Yeah,
you're
like-
you're the patron of Outer Haven, right? But you haven't mentioned an untie that happened to one of your denizens in the period as well. I'm putting you really on the spot here. We've got this Zella 301 Deep Sea PA.
Oh, of course, yeah. Will, yes. And now I feel even worse too because he so sweetly mentioned me in the shout out and he shouted me out in the PR comment. Now I just feel like a fucking asshole. I love you, Will.
Crazy
yeah,
run.
That was sick. Oh my god, that was insane. Like, and he had been grinding like a madman for that.
Is sub 3 possible?
I don't know. Like that would definitely be for somebody who knows something about Perfect Dark, and I do not. I'm sure it probably is, but like, yeah, and like just imagine what Will's gonna be able to do when he gets PAL. Like he's gonna be able to go ham on Agent and SA too.
Yeah,
Agent, Special Agent, like that man's gonna be fucking unstoppable.
Ace has obviously been tearing shit up.
Yeah, well, that's not. I mean,
you barely even mentioned that, but I mean, Villa 1 minute flat is
that's sick.
That's something else.
There was a time where I remember. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, I interrupted you. Go on, MMD.
But yeah, I just remember for like it had to be like a week or so. Every time I just like clicked on the elite rankings, just updated it, I would just see another ace time, and I would just be like, well, I mean, how can I be? I'm not even. I'm just legit not surprised. Like I can't even be surprised. He's just like banging them out like 1 a day or like 2 a day. I'm like well,
like
that's what it is.
Another day that ends in Y, another ace and tied, basically. I mean,
like he just breathes and sleeps world records and untides. He just does.
How long did 101 any PD people in chat? How long did 101? How long was that the world record for?
About 12 months. 12 months. Because they got that sort of start of last year. Mid start of last year when they came up with the clip. Because the clip.
Oh yeah.
So before that, I think the world record was 106 off the top of my head, which was multi-way tie. And then the clip was found. It was one of those interesting ones that was actually found on the XBLA version and then came backwards onto the N64 version.
That's right.
So I think Tim Oakley's found it, or at least used it on XBLA, and then Boss used it on console first, or on N64.
I see. Of course, because Boss.
Because who's gonna use a new strategy? It's either going to be Boss or Joey, by the look of things, with the fence shot or window shot on Damn SA, Surface 2, something like that.
Or that Surface 2
crazy.
And the last world record I guess I want to comment on is our boy Perna. First world record.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. He just nailed that.
Yeah, dude, he nailed that Chicago.
Can't get an Eric 16, can't get an Archive 16, but can get like a 3-liner world record in Perfect Dark.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, well,
it's that he cannot be fucked to.
Yeah,
he refuses to.
It seems like certain times he just like that he's like kind of dedicated for. He'll just go for and just get like almost like nothing, but. I don't know. He's just like any other human being where he's got his times that he struggles with, but certain times he just pops out like they're nothing. It seems.
Kid worked hard on Pelagic 2 as well. Like he did some good work there.
And to put into perspective, so Perna just had a birthday pretty recently, and he joined. And I know this because he joined around the time of his birthday last year, so he's literally only been in the community about a year. So like all this damage he's done to PD and GE, he's done in the span of a year, which is pretty insane to put into perspective.
Yeah.
He's like 30th in something like 33rd in PD and like 104th or 103rd or something in GE.
Yeah, he's been really
pulling in points. That's a lot of damage for 1 year.
Oh yes.
Kid's been doing good.
He hasn't done bad for himself. As I say, he hasn't done too bad for himself.
So. I've invited both of you on because I want to do something a little bit different, which is talk about the rivalry between Mike and MMD, not Mike and MMD, Eric and MMD, right?
Mozart to my Salieri.
Before we move on, we have to comment that Mike has the best speedrunner name ever.
Like, he really does.
Hey, I try.
Where did that come from?
Buddy,
like.
Man, me and my buddy were like just talking about it because I used to just be like Saint Andtle or whatever, just like my old my old screen name, and then I was just gonna change it when I like became speedrunning, and I was just gonna be like MustDash Mike or something, but I pulled a couple names, and the most available one was like Mike MustDash because it like just the way it was spelled was like kind of different, so that was the one that I was able to actually get. And it was Mitch who actually came up with it, my buddy Mitch. So
it just kind of clicked, the dash part of it.
Yeah, like that was the thing. I knew I wanted like the Mike MustDash thing or the MustDash Mike, but the way he spelt it made it like stand out, and I was like, damn, I kind of want it to be that now. It's like it makes
name.
More sense, like MustDash, like you know, there's true urgency.
And it sounds speedy.
Yeah, it just made sense.
So, I don't know what the timing was around you two joining. Did you join around a similar time, or who was first?
I joined actually today, the 22nd. Today is actually the 3-year anniversary of the day I joined the Elite.
How about that? Enough. Right.
Yeah, I joined on August 22nd, 2017. But for I'd say a good portion of the first year or so, I was like a spectator in iReads and Adam's chats. I played the game kind of casually. I mean, I was still using 1.1.
You were a 1.1 or 2.
1.1
for a little bit, weren't you?
Go and join the Sterling ranks.
Yeah. Which, by the way, hashtag make a separate ranking for 1.1. Hashtag Sterling was right.
Yeah, it could come back.
That was some shit on the forum. Anyway.
Sorry, you're a spectator for 12 months.
Yeah, basically for 12 or so months, and around I'd say spring summer 2018 was when I switched to 1.2, and I really started to kind of go like ham on time rank stuff. So I was cutting time left and right, just trying to like trim time away from my page. And I don't know when, it must have been summer because we strong armed you. So we found
it was in the summertime. Yeah.
So as I'm known to do, if you know me, what I like to do a lot is all like troll around Twitch for like casual GE streams, because I genuinely do enjoy watching casual GE streams.
Yep.
And so I found this guy, Mike MustDash, and he was just trying to complete the game on LOL, and he was trying to get like all the cheats. And I don't know if I found him or Mott found him, or I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I saw both of you a lot.
Yeah.
I think I even saw David too, but you and Mop for sure were like one of the first guys I remember seeing. Yeah.
And I just remember being very entertained by his streams. And fast forward to like, I remember, there was some point when I was like just checking the rankings as I do, I guess Mike had finished completing the game and started like actually working on his time page. And I was looking at the time ranks, and I saw like this Michael A pass me. Like, who the fuck is this? Right? And so I click on his name, and it's fucking Mike MustDash. I'm like, okay. And this is when I decided. This is when I shot the opening. I fired the opening shot, and I decided, okay, we're rivals.
Cross my bow.
Yeah, and I think I even came into Mike's chat and was like, okay. Listen, I didn't say listen, motherfucker, but I was like, okay. I decided.
Just grabbed me by the throat. I was like, okay.
I was like, listen, you and me are rivals now, and that's how it's going to be. And that's how
the Gary Oak to my ash.
Yeah.
So, do you remember what that first shot across the bow was?
I just me saying like, yeah, listen, I've decided on your behalf that we're rivals.
All right.
Yeah, because I don't think it was any level that specifically like tipped it off.
No,
but it was just kind of a general like. It seemed like we were kind of close in skill level and stuff like that. We had dabbled in like different levels, but mostly we were just kind of the same skill level because we had played it when we were like younger and stuff like that. So we knew a lot about the game, but the speedrunning aspect wasn't something that we had fully, got into super hard.
Yep.
It's just that moment, like when I looked at the ring, I was like, "Oh, that motherfucker!"
Yeah, sometimes you do get bopped one day in time rank, and you're like, "Why?" Like, I was working really hard on that time one day. Like, I was chopping ranks, and like I just lost them.
And this
What
fucking
happened?
Mike MustDash, this Mike MustDash guy.
What the fuck's his asshole doing?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, going back to those early days, then, do you remember any particular sort of time that stood out, or was there a crossing between the two of you?
Yeah, there was a time when I was just like, man, I should go for like some statue times, because like my statue times weren't that good, and Eric immediately was just like slaying all those times, and I'm like, what did I do? I just wanted to just clean up like some statue times, and he just starts like a fire.
And what kind of pace are we talking about here? Like 240, 230?
That I'd worked hard for. I was like, what?
No,
Certain levels like that where he just needed to assert his alpha maleness on me.
I mean, to be fair, I've always had an affinity for statues, so
that's like the thing. I didn't know that in the beginning. I was just sitting there like, I'll just get some nice times, and I beat you by like a second or two, and you were like, oh god, it's like you're invading my territory. Get your troops off my land. And I was like, man, I didn't even know you were interested in statue Rome. Sorry.
You're forgetting my permanent residency card in St. Petersburg. I only play levels
That's
in
true.
St. Petersburg.
I really live there. Depot Street.
What's that, Mission 5?
Depot Street.
One of the storage lockers in Depot, like Mop does.
Eric, the Mission 5 specialist.
Yeah, the Mission 5, yeah. That means I'd also have to play Train.
It does. Yeah, watch out.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's only in St. Petersburg when it leaves, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, I guess you're going back and forth. You're playing some statue. What kind of things are you guys? What kind of times do you have on your times page at this kind of stand? Because this is pre-points. If I'm understanding.
Yeah, for sure. I think we were still struggling with some of the harder levels. Yeah. Like, I remember I was really struggling with Cavs 00. And I don't know, he just seemed to be able to get like lower times than me, and I was like, man, I'm really gonna need a Japanese cartridge if I'm gonna start like really being able to compete with him, because he just seems to be able to do certain levels better than me, even without like Japanese cartridge. So I'm like, I need this crutch, because he doesn't need this crutch, and it's killing me right now.
I remember there were a lot of things we went back and forth on. Depot was one. I remember I was really super stoked when I got my 58, which is really funny now. For a couple of reasons. Because like one thing I noticed now, like my reactions are so like blown out of proportion. Like the gas. And, like, I hear you. I don't know, I was legitimately excited, but like like looking back now, I'm like,
they meant so much.
I do remember that, and I remember. Not only was I sweating over it, but I actively lied to Mike about when my cart was coming in.
Yeah,
I lied to him about my cart because I wanted to rack the score up, because I knew he was getting his, and I wanted to rack the score up as much as I could before this motherfucker got his cart.
So what, you both ordered? Who heard that? Which one of you ordered first, and which one of you ordered second?
I think it was around the same time.
We ordered it around the same time.
So what, did you order express shipping or something then, Eric, to get yours
Eric
first?
Eric got it flown over on a private jet in like a private package that was gold laced.
The funniest thing is mine came from Michigan within the States, which is funny because we have a meme from Adam's stream, fuck Michigan.
Did it come from a particular state then, Eric?
Yeah, it came from and where I think, Mike, you had to wait.
Mine came legit from Japan, so
right. And you had to, didn't it get
2.5 or 3 weeks.
Didn't it get stuck in customs for a while too?
I don't really remember, but it did take a little bit longer than I was expecting. It didn't take a month, but I was like almost expecting it to take longer than it was, but it didn't take.
It was around the time of your birthday, though. I remember, because like you were talking about how it's gonna come like around your birthday, which is in November, right? I believe.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, good. I was about to embarrass myself if I was completely wrong, but I remember it came a little bit early. I think it came like late October or something.
Yeah, or maybe like mid-October, but yeah. Yeah.
So I think I got mine a couple weeks before you, because I got mine on October 21st, I think, because I remember, I think I only had mine for like a week or so before you got yours, and I was like frantically trying to run up the score as much as I could.
Yeah, well, I still had to unlock the card and everything. So I remember you were like going frantic, and I was like, dude, I just gotta unlock the card before I even like consider speedrunning. And you're like, no, I'm just damn double O is just I need the body armor now, and I was like, man, calm down, I'm still shit. Come on, like I'll give you.
I think I was trying to tell him to play like things that I knew were total shit. I was like, hey, you should.
Yeah,
play,
you're
like...
telling me to play Aztec and shit like that. I was like, dude, I don't need to unlock the card. Like, I don't need all the cheats and stuff. And you're like, I don't know, you should play unlock the card before you speedrun it. I'm like, maybe I should.
Yeah, I remember like doing stuff like that to try to
send the rival off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, in the wrong direction.
Oh, you
were
were like, you're telling me to play Sonic Adventure Battle on like the Sega Genesis or something.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, you can just go play Mega Man or something, you know? Just go play Mega Man or something.
Go and play anything. Just not GE.
Yeah, just not GE, yeah. But I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I must have gotten this is kind of a segue, but I think I got Street Agent 114 before I got JP, because I think that was on October
You definitely
6th.
did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And was that the first
like,
points
strike.
that either of you got?
Yeah, that was the first. Yes, that was.
Yeah, that was the true first like strike into points.
And just like everything good, it was gone in less than a month because of the aforementioned speed villain Wally and his 4 accomplices.
Wally, watch out! He's the villain of both 114 and Runway Agent 23, I believe.
Yes, he is. He's the slayer of happiness. I was so stoked, and then like literally less than a month. I think it was like I got on October 6th. I think by November 2nd, 114 died, and I had to just watch it slowly decay.
It was sad.
It was pretty sad.
Streets 114 being points just sounds like a wild world, you know, because you got that. True. If I remember rightly, 1.2 no GL, right?
1.2 no GL, yep.
So
on an LCD as well.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
It was like it was a full. I did the full Perna.
So like imagine a time with that being points. If that doesn't sound too harsh, you know.
No, but like honestly, although I will say in my defense, it's more wild to think that there was a world not too long ago when Runway Agent 23 was worth points.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, wild. Really.
That's wild to me. Like Streets 114, like okay, you can just like you're just walking to the end. I mean, but you have to have decent strafing, 1.2, and you have to get some good
lucky
boosts.
With them guards.
Like Runway 23, like Runway Agent 23, you know, that has no business being points.
It's
no offense.
I mean, it really isn't like super difficult. Like if you're like starting out, like
it's a great step.
It's not something that's like gonna come crazy naturally, but I really feel like anyone who sits there for a couple hours could really start to grasp it, and then just add the grenades and shit. You know, like
particularly if you got somebody.
Get lucky with
particularly if you got somebody helping you out and you're not just trying to work it out yourself.
Yeah, like that would be the thing. Like especially nowadays, if you had someone helping you, like I feel most people who are pretty video game oriented and you know how to use the N64 controller, you could probably walk them there in a couple hours.
Yeah, how do you hold it though? It's got the 3 prongs. I don't know how do you hold an N64 controller?
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Yeah.
I don't think Ted knows how to hold an N64 controller because he holds it like this. No shit. That's how Ted holds it when he plays 1.2. That's some big brain shit right there.
Wow.
The mad lad. The absolute mad lad.
That's like playing guitar and like flipping your hands around and just like playing on the front because just for making it crazy.
It's like in the controller grip thread from back in the day, they had one of them which was completely wacky and just in there as a man.
Yeah.
And Ted's basically playing one. Yeah, anti-gravity, that's it. And Ted's basically playing one of those grips.
Yeah. That one should be called the reach around. You're just like, wah, you're like goblin clawing it kind of out of nowhere.
So you got take me back to 114. You're devastated at this point. You've lost your points. So does that how does that impact the rivalry? You had points and then you lost them. Like
that was the thing. I really felt he was like the true at that point. I was like, well, Eric's just like better than me now. Not like better than me now, but I really feel like there was many times when, not like I exactly doubted Eric, but there were certain times where I was like, man, maybe I'm like better than him on this level. But then I saw him play it and I was like, shit, maybe he's a little bit better than I thought. So there's like plenty of times when you get overconfident, thinking maybe I know things better than I know them. But
I remember I just focused a lot back on time rank stuff, and that was pretty much all I could do, because I was kind of in the mentality of well, I'm not gonna get any more points. I think if you dig up some old posts, I'd be like, well, and from my The Elite Discord, I'll be like, you can see something about me saying, well, those are my only 5 points. I'm not gonna get any more. Blah blah blah. That sort of thing. But I just kept trying to grind and try to get wins back in my column. That was a big thing back in the day, from when I first met Mike and we first started our rivalry, up to not so much nowadays, because if you look at his time rank, he pretty much squeezed me in time ranks because I refuse to play anything after depot. I cannot be boxed to play anything after depot.
You don't catch the train out of St. Petersburg.
No, I don't. But the big thing with that head to head, I love that feature on the Elite when you can see head to head, here's Dan, I have a win on Agent, he has SA, I have double O, it would always be I'm gonna take Depot back into my column. I'll take sweet, my Depot 58, I took Depot back into my column. I took Depot double O back in my column, and there was a lot of that. Mike took a level back into his column, and then I took it back. And the one thing that I kind of regret leading up to this episode, I wish we did more of documenting in our PR comments, I took this back in my column. I took that back in my column, just for
that's true.
Yeah.
But then again, I truly felt it wasn't always about the personal bops. Sometimes it was just about getting better times. I don't know.
You can do both.
So there was a nice little MS Paint image that was sitting in the side of a few PB videos around this time for the Noob Society, which I've never really known anything about that. Can you tell me about the Noob Society?
That was started by actually Joey D and Sharp. I think Joey D was the driving force behind it. It was also known as the Mom Hunter Improvement Discord.
Oh yes.
It was just
before he changed his name.
Yeah, and it was a bunch of noobs just trying to kind of band together and try to rally together and try to. It was kind of like OH before OH was OH.
Yep.
That's a lot. Yeah. Of fun. But it was me. Actually, funnily enough, Wally, Sharp A, MMD, Good Old Shoes, Mason.
Yeah.
MMD. There are a couple other people. I'm blanking at the moment, but it was just a bunch of noobs, and we was it Sharpay or Good Old Shoes did a weekly report of so here's the rankings.
Who did this? Yeah.
Who did this? Who has the highest time ranks? Who's at the highest point ranks? Blah blah blah.
Best time cut of the week and shit like that.
Best time cut of the week, stuff like that. Yeah.
It sounds very healthy.
Yeah, it was a really cool place to be, and I don't remember at what point OH kind of blew up. It's probably around, I think, this is probably getting a little ahead of myself, but I think OH really kind of, OH had been a thing for a while. It was just kind of my Discord where I talked to my buddy, and nobody was there. I think maybe David was there, and it was 1.5 people basically there. Nobody was a ghost now. You can see the tumbleweed, but I think during my Streets 156 grind is when OH really started to blow up.
That's true. That is true.
No, David, I was the half.
So, Eric's got his first points on Streets with 114. Mike, what's your first points? And was that around a similar time?
I broke in with a good one and threw my life away at a runway and went for 22.
Oof.
Yeah.
How long did that take you?
Oh, jeez. It was like 3 weeks. It was almost a month. Because I think the first week I was playing, I wasn't cutting the cutscene properly. Like I was.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Because I don't know. I heard someone say oh, you're supposed to wait for the text to come up and then cut the cutscene. And I was just seeing the text and then cutting the cutscene. I didn't know you're supposed to wait for the text to once the text disappeared, was when you were supposed to cut the cutscene. So I played for a week and got a couple. I got 1 6-boost run or something, and I was like, that's it, baby, and it wasn't it. And I was like, what? That looked good. What do you mean?
And was that your AC? Oh my god, it's just it moment.
Yeah. And then I was just well, how does this work? But yeah, secretly playing 2.x with no 2.x benefit.
You're not the first player to have done that.
Yeah. But I really feel like that grind changed me a little bit as a person. That showed me that if you really just work at something and don't just no mind it and actually try to focus on the constructively focus on the shit that you're doing, you legit can do it. Because I've never really focused on something for that amount of time to really try to get it, you know? I've done other shit like that in games, but nothing world record style. So that felt like it was such a true milestone in my actual perseverance, more so than anything.
Yeah, it's an interesting mental change to the way that you're playing the game when you're pushing, whether you're playing the game and pushing it into those kind of levels, the focus that you need, and like you said, the kind of perseverance to keep going and looking for faults, and it's just an entirely different way of thinking about it.
There were times when there were just times when I kind of thought man, have I gotten myself into something that I shouldn't have got into? I was almost doubting that I could really do it in the long run. And then I was like, shit, am I gonna have to be the guy to quit? I don't want to be the guy to quit. And that was also a thing that kind of pushed me forward, was I didn't want to be the guy to quit, be the guy that's oh, MMD walked away from it, or that was the guy that walked away from it. And that was kind of perseverance in a way too. Sorry for talking for an hour, but
yeah, going to Cal's point, I was just gonna say that grinding ILs is definitely a different kind of beast, especially with GoldenEye when you're trying to shave off that whole second, because you're literally just looking for tens, and runway is so incremental as well, because there's no on-screen decimal perfect arc, so you can see oh, that was a 23.9 versus that was a 23.2. It's just a 23 is a 23, and you just have to watch your own runs back and have other people watch your runs back and tell you oh, well, you
and be
that's
there, a little bit better than your other 23.
That's good there, you fucked up there, that could be better, etc.
I really didn't start learning some of those mental lessons until Dam 53, which was after 22 for me, but it was...
I definitely should have did Dam 53 first, I feel. Although 22 was good, but I definitely should have did it before Bunker 17. Bunker 17 was another type of shittiness for me, but yeah.
Were you doing? Did you go for that with the old strat or with the new strat, the 2.4?
No, that was the thing. It used back then. It was kind of new strat, and people were like, "Oh, it's kind of makes it cake. It's it's a little bit easier now. It's not so RNG and random at the glass." And I was like, maybe this is my time to strike while the iron is hot. And it still took me a while because I'm a choke artist. But hey, I mean, I digress.
And so, well, I guess
I still made it.
After 22, right, you're sitting there on 100 fat internet points on the elite rankings, and Eric's on a donut. What's the where do you come from that, Eric?
Well, I felt like shit, and I was in that well, I'm never gonna get points again, basically, and so I turned my attention to time, and I think in January is when I started just holding on to a bunch of times to try to cut. I think my goal was to cut under the 2-hour mark, the 2-hour barrier, and also to pass MMD, which I did. I think I unordered a bunch of times in like February or maybe late January, and that was a small victory. But like, you know, like obviously I was still sitting on a fucking goose egg.
And so MMD's just pulling away, right? So was Bunker 117 in this similar sort of time?
I got like SA 23 after 22, and I grinded for 17 for a while.
Yeah, so then he was sitting on it was like 175. But like it was wild. Like when I was doing some research and looking back on this, I saw that when MMD got runway SA 23, it was worth 75 points, which that's crazy to me. Like because now it's worth like what 55 or something.
Yeah,
this is like a year ago.
And Joey's saying that he remembers watching you play play Damn for sub 10 minutes.
Fuck up, Joey. Yeah.
The legend.
The legend. And oh yeah, it was around this time where my legendary Damn 00 streams. I played a lot of Damn 00.
What was the attraction about Damn 00?
I had a strange attraction to trash. I don't know. It was like something about like the level I know is like, you know those things that you know they're super fucking trashy, but you like them anyway. That was kind of Damn 00 for me. Like the thrill of like making it through the basement and actually living a run.
True. Yeah. It's very
I really like that, but then like getting to that point and having to been through the crap of like going through the fucking torture chamber basement.
So
it's a trash level.
So you're throwing yourself into a basement, a torture basement at the bottom of Dam, and Mike's still pulling away. I'm guessing, dropping more points.
Yeah.
Tearing away.
Yeah.
Like what else? What other kind of times did you get before Eric went back to St. Petersburg?
I believe I just got runway 22, SA 23, then bunker 17, and I think as I was grinding for Dam 53, I think that was when he was going for 156s, or maybe it was like right after I got it or something he started to go for it.
I want to say that you got bunker 17 like in mid-February, and then like a week or so later is when I started the grind for the 156s. Which that like you talked about how that changed the runway 22 grind changed you. That was what changed me. I think like that was my first like real grind, even though they were only worth 40 points or 47 points a piece or something. I think
they were high 40s or like low 50s for a while.
Yeah, no, they were high 40s. But like that was like my first real grind. Like. You see my setup here. Like I used to be. My old setup was on. I had this computer because we've since changed. We've since got rid of our old computer and replaced it. But it was a computer there, and I had my CRT like either there or there, and I had like this.
Did you say your CRT?
Or my TV, my LCD rather. My LCD, yeah, because I was still using LCD. And so like I just had this terrible setup, like this potato, and it didn't help. Like the computer was running on Vista,
the most inferior system. I was running it on.
It wasn't
is
my
it 2008?
Yeah, well, it wasn't my computer. I didn't have a computer, so I was like, it was either that or like don't use one, right? So like, not only did I have a shitty computer, but like I had shitty internet too. Like literally, like my internet was a fucking hamster running around on a wheel, and like it was bad. It was fucking bad. Like, and my streams were all pixelated, and I dropped frames and shit. Like, I started like regularly streaming at the end of 2018. I think like around the time when Mike and I started becoming rivals, and then I kind of like grew into like the whole process of streaming. And like my first big boy stream, like grind on stream was the 156s. And boy, did those fuck me up a lot.
They fucked up your chair too.
Yeah, and my mic. And
Yeah, that shit exploded.
Yeah.
So good. I was so
No,
happy.
that was definitely my defining moment where like I realized what it took to like grind a level down.
Yes. It makes a man out of you, dude. It really does. You're just like, it gets rid of the self-doubt, you know, when you're just like sitting there thinking, oh, I'm not one of those guys who can do it. You just finally break that barrier.
I don't know if it got rid of the self-doubt for me. You know, that's a work in progress, unfortunately. Let's just say that's a work in progress.
We've all seen the Eric cycle
in play. It degenerate out of you.
But I did persevere and got both 156s, but I was still severely behind because I was sitting on like 90 points while Mike was sitting on like 200,000. And I mean, honestly, like for the first half of our rivalry, like it was super lopsided because Mike was just like racking up all these points, like Dan 53, Streets 113, blah blah, all these points, and I was just sitting here and I was like, oh, okay, so what now after Streets 156? And I don't know what I did for like a month or so after. I don't remember. Wait, no, I do, because that was most of March. So after that, Mike decided to go to Streets, and I really wanted to be. At this point, like Mike made his intention and wanted to go for 113, and I remember like I really wanted to fucking snipe that, and I really wanted to be the first person to get 113 because I felt like Streets has always kind of been like my level, like or a level I'm good at, and I felt like dude's like he's coming on my territory. Like how epic would it be if I just like sniped him? Sniped 113.
You've been into 114, so.
Yeah, I beat him to 114, so I felt like it was only right that I beat him to 113, but it wasn't to be. The speed bully did not work. In fact, the speed bullier became the speed bullied, and I felt bad.
It happens.
Yeah, it happened.
So you're still 2 million points behind.
Yeah,
you know,
roughly.
Roughly. Do you ever start feeling happy for your rival that they've got more points than you and just let it be?
I mean, it bugged me, but I knew. I was coming back ish. I mean,
I always knew he could do it if he applied himself and all that. I never really felt like if I got more points, it made us like less of rivals. Because I don't know. I just never considered like him not being able to like get times.
It's like Samo and Fletcher. I don't think they'll ever stop being rivals, even when Fletcher hits the top 10 and Samo's still down in 50th or whatever.
Yeah.
But the other thing too was like I was also like really severely limiting how much I played. Like I would only play weekends pretty much for the first while or so. Like I would basically limit myself like, okay, I'll play on weekends and that's it. Which is not very smart because like I'm not keeping up the muscle memory and all that.
It can hurt.
Yeah.
So, just trying to think about the timelines here. You've kind of...
So we're like in April 2019.
Yeah, right. So we're getting towards League of 2019.
Yeah.
What happened in League for you two?
Well, there was one big thing that happened in April of that year that I would be remiss if I did not mention. That was I went down to San Francisco.
The Irie meet.
Yeah.
The Irie meetup, yeah.
The transformation.
Yeah, the transformation, yeah.
It's like the training camp.
The training camp
yeah.
where I got the 2.x, where I basically learned 2.x. I'm like, the funniest part is like I didn't mention it. Like, I was like trying to play 2.x and like I wasn't able to like maintain speed while opening the door because I wasn't doing like, you know how you hold the second controller with like that little grip here, like with the. Yeah, I wasn't doing that, and I was just like trying to hold it naturally.
With your claw grip.
Yeah.
Yep.
God damn, that must have been right.
Yeah, and like once he taught me that, it's like light bulb, like mind blown.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you and Irie, your training camp was inspiration for the WOTUS segment in K4.
Oh god damn. It's true.
I wouldn't go that far, but
no, that's the prophecy.
But no, like and before I went to San Francisco, I was eyeing a CRT too, which is actually the CRT I have right here, and y'all can't see it.
It's probably the best CRT in all of the Elite.
Yeah. But
10 out of 10, really.
I couldn't pull the trigger to get it because it's a little bit eccentric, and I was like planning to go to San Francisco too, so I was like, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'll deal with it when I get back. So when I got back, I played on Iris CRT, and then I came back and I tried to play on my LCD, and I was like, no, this is fucking dog shit. I can't do this. So I hit up the seller, who was thankfully still selling the CRT, and I still have to this day almost every single record I've gotten, or every single time I've gotten, except for Dan 53, Streets 113, and Depot 49 and Archive 16, I got on my Disney Princess CRT.
Perfect. Mike, have you always played on CRT, or did you make a transition at some point?
I still don't play on CRT right now. I have RetroTink, which is really nice, actually. But, man, I used to play through OBS like bands when I got Runway 22 and shit. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know how I did anything.
How was this a thing?
Like,
I
used to be like, man, it's not that bad. It's not too bad. It's bad. Fucking, is this thing on? Playing through OBS is bad. Just saying. It's fucking horrible.
Blows my mind trying to play through OBS. Wow. Like, I don't.
Oh yeah, and why do you think I was dog shit? I mean, I'm still bad, but like, imagine me starting like that. When I play through OBS now, when I'm like setting up shit in the beginning, and I'll like do a test run before like certain shit before I switch over to RetroTink, and I like played on OBS. I was like, dude, this is like being underwater. Your N64 submerged in a microwave, but the microwave is like in Antarctica with 200 ping. It's like, it makes no sense. It's so swampy.
Did you do the same thing as bands and use the mouse cursor as your dot?
No, but I did that sometimes, and I realized it kind of was annoying. But I did do that sometimes on certain levels. I would do that to actually put the dot on for the very start. Right. I would put where I would aim, like use the aimer and put the mouse on there, and then get a piece of tape. Because the mouse thing would eventually bothered me. I don't know.
At least these days you're a RetroTink player.
Yes, dear God. Yeah. Ooh. It's like, yeah.
I'd have to come over there and smack some sense into you if you continue playing through OBS.
No, I got RetroTink, like right after League, I think.
Right.
Like last year. I've had it for a decent amount of time. I took a break to get RetroTink after League, basically. I forget exactly when it was, but it was like my first year was pretty much all bunk ass OBS playthrough, and I really truly don't know how. No, I really got through it.
So that gives Eric.
Because I didn't even think it was as bad as it was. It's really not good.
Oh, you just don't know. If you know, you know, right? If you don't know, you don't know. So if you don't know what the lag is, then
yeah. Because I remember playing on a CRT as a kid, and you know I did more recently play on a CRT, but I was just like, it didn't feel like it was as bad until I really applied it to the levels and stuff like that, and I was like, Jesus, it's a lot worse.
It's like me with LCD. Like when I didn't know how bad it was until I played on a CRT at Iris. Like, and then
it's just life changing.
It really was. Like then 4 days after I got home, I got Depot 26, which, by the way, rest in peace, almost.
8 points. Geez, I think it's sitting on at the moment.
You what?
Thanks to you, Eric.
Yeah, Eric, you turncoat.
The contributor.
Complicit. Complicit in the passing away of
Depot 26. Cool.
Listen,
it used to be cool.
I'm not above. Clearly, I'm not above pouring myself for points. I love Depot.
Well, I mean,
but
we'll just have to give it up to you. Just like Depot so much that you had to go through it. It was just It was the love of Depot that truly did it. It's the heart wants what the heart wants. It wanted Depot more than it wanted the war.
True. Then Depot 26, and then a couple weeks after that was probably my breakthrough time, Dam 53, which is where the gas emote came
Yeah.
from.
Oh, that's epic.
My tier 2 sub on Twitch, the gas.
I remember I came home from work and I just like turned on the stream, and it just like said 53, and I just said in all caps. I was like, "Is this real?"
Yeah.
Just like, is this a real screen?
Real.
Are you watching a video? What's going on?
No, I didn't think it was real either, which is why I was losing my fucking mind while my friend Trent over here is like, "Yeah, buddy." Like,
I'm pretty sure all 53s are like a timer glitch.
Yeah.
Like, I know sure as hell my 53 felt like that.
Yeah. Like, my 53 is bad, too. Like, it's kind of a dumpster fire. But that's...
I don't know. I think you understand 53. It's not really... I don't think it's really that bad. Like, I mean, there's no, like... It's just not, like, that bad. I mean... Unless you consider the boost, like, makes it, like, non-official. I'm like, oh, that boost makes it seem like
My lines are just really bad and, like, all over the place. Like, especially...
I mean, like, but, like, it was fast and the lock was clean. Like, lines aren't everything about Dam exactly. Like, you gotta have good lines, but...
My ending was
the way the gates and everything...
A flaming bag of dog shit.
It says 53 on the end screen, so what's the rest of it matter?
True.
That's really it. Like, yeah. When it comes down to it, even if I'm not like truly satisfied, the end screen is the end screen.
That is very true. Like, I think some of my runs end up actually being the run or some of the most controversial runs that I have, like the most dog shit runs that I have. But the end screen's the end screen. So
exactly, that end screen is the end screen.
Yeah. So now League 2019.
So what happened in League?
So the reason why I wanted to mention the M53 first was, so I got drafted to Zed Press, mostly on the power probably of me getting the M53 and Depot 26 by Henry. And I tried to play for B1 a little bit, B1 17, didn't get anywhere. But my main goal after Dam was I decided I wanted to get Streets 113. And that was kind of like my main thing. I decided, like, I really want this. And Henry's like, you should play for Bunker 1. So I kind of pretended to entertain the idea. Like, I did go for it, but I was like, in my heart, I really wanted to just play Streets. And that ended up because I couldn't get it, and I was frustrated with the fact that I couldn't get it and couldn't contribute, I ended up dropping out. But before I did, somebody else dropped out. And who was that? Therm.
Yeah, that was Therm, yeah. So, controversial to the rivalry, we ended up becoming teammates.
Yeah, Mike and I, for a brief time, were teammates for us.
So you're fighting on the same team. What's going on there? Like, who's made this poor decision?
We just had to put our differences aside and, go back to back like in the action movie. Like, I don't like you. You don't like me. This guy's gonna die. And, like, the grenade gets thrown over, and, like, explosions go off and shit. And, like, there's, like, manly chests and stuff like that with machine guns. Choreographed in a good way.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't end up, like I said, I didn't end up contributing anything except for getting bopped into oblivion.
That happens. The league pressure is something I think many people felt. Like, that's why, not to say, it would have been nice to play this year, although I didn't have, like, proper capture and stuff. Yeah. But, I don't really exactly like the pressure as much as it's fun. I'm not one who, like, is, that competitive in the long run. Like, I enjoy the good competition, but not, like, I don't know. I don't know how to say it exactly, but...
Well, that was part of the reason why I decided to opt out. Like, I made a decision based on what happened last year that I think it'd be best for me to just kind of, like, chill and do my own thing this year. but that's probably getting a little ahead of ourselves. But yeah, like, I mean, it's not that I had a bad time in League. It's just that I felt like, I don't know, the pressure kind of got to me, and I kind of want to just do what I want to do. Like,
Yeah, that is the thing.
I want to do what I want to do. Like, at the time, I got hung up on Streets. I was like, I want to play Streets, so I'm gonna fucking do what I want to do. And
so you guys kind of tied up in points at this stage, or who's in front?
no, Mike stayed in front for almost all of 2019.
And what kind of times are you getting to stay in front there then? Because Eric's got to be catching up to where I thought you would have been.
Yeah, 'cause after I did Streets, where did I go into then? I think I went into Depot then. Huh?
Runway 00 and S2SA.
Yeah. I got S2.
Yeah, which is worth like
SA56, and I got Runway 39. Yeah, and I did get. I mean, I played PD for a little and got Chicago.
You did some damage on Chicago as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think it was at post league that I don't remember who moved over into Depot first. I think it was me. I want to say it was me.
Has the rivalry ever spilled over into PD, or it was just like a league thing, chasing points?
Yeah, for playing PD, it was mostly for points. Just because overall it was a nice pointer, and it wasn't overall like a PD style level where it wasn't super complicated with a bunch of different objectives. It was very simplified, so I found it was more like a GoldenEye style level. Yep. So I really thought it was something I could get. So
I've heard of that as well. I've heard that Chicago is very similar to, it's like a very GoldenEye-esque level.
Yeah, because I mean you're like sneaking around and stuff, so it is very reminiscent.
Yeah, it's just pure strafing.
Particularly SA and PA are more like GoldenEye because you don't have to do the bug or the mine throw at the end, which is kind of a bit of a PD style trick.
Yeah.
True, I did. That's right.
The bomb spy pickup's kind of finicky though. It's very PD.
I really struggled with that
twitchy movement.
Towards the end of League, I was really trying to go for SA 29 or something, or 28, and I couldn't nail it because the bug throw and just a few. There was just little things that I could never get it all consistent to be like just hit that wonder run.
That's always the trouble. It's like you can always do like the little individual parts, but you can never do it all in the same run.
Yeah, you'd always get that little stuck somewhere, or it'd just be something to screw you over in the long run.
And so we've kind of reached the end of the league. You mentioned that you took a bit of a break to get a retro tink there, Mike.
Yeah, I think I took a little bit of a break, and then I think I got maybe another time.
You got some Depot. You got Depot 52.
Yeah.
43.
Yeah, I got I got like basically like beginner style Depot times, and then I was like, man, shit's getting way too laggy, and I can't clutch these runs. I need the retro tank. So that was really what pulled me in. I think I just needed to kind of clean up all the input lag, and it would help me with clutching those runs, which when I came back after getting the retro tank, I did get Depot 40 or SA 42 and 0049. That's for sure.
We'll get there too. So I was also playing Depot at the same time, but I was not playing it correctly. So,
how do you play Depot incorrectly?
I was not playing it correctly.
I don't want to tell you.
So when I was with Irie, we made a decision to take the rubber part out of my controller, which makes the Z button press. I don't know what.
Right, so the Z button was still underneath there, but the rubber that goes underneath it was taken out, so you couldn't activate it.
Yeah, so I couldn't activate. Yes, correct. So, and the thought behind that was, I would be playing mostly 2.2 levels for a while, and that we thought, or Irie thought that, or I agreed that it would be best to take that out so I wouldn't accidentally hit Z and like pull up the reticle.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. So we put it in a little box, but my dumbass didn't remember where that box was for a long time. So I really wanted to play Depot. So I thought, like, okay, I'm going to just, like, I'm going to pretend like it's 1999 again and play Depot with 1.2 and shoot out the screen myself. And I actually got kind of, yeah, and I actually kind of got all right on that. Yeah, and I got on 00, I got a run that was 0055, which at the time I think 53 was worth points. So had I used 2.x, that probably would have been 52.
You could have even used the pause strat to save some of that.
Yeah, but eventually I found that little contraption and put it back on my controller, and I still have a functioning 2.x controller, and I focused on Depot a lot because I'd seen Mop, I'd seen David playing Depot a lot, and I don't know, it's sometimes, as I'm known to do, like, I'll see what Mop and David are playing, and it was fun. Like, I was like, oh, okay, this looks fun. So I ended up getting
that's kind of my inspiration, too.
42, and I got 53, which is garbage. Imagine 53 still being worth points. Rest in peace.
I know. 52. No train shell required. Go get it, kiddies.
51, and I remember where I stopped. I think I stopped before I went over back to SA. I think I got 50. I think I was at 42 and 50, and then I went back over to SA for 41. At this point, Mike was pretty much, he was gone. He was on hiatus. And I think at this point, I was pretty close to passing him. Like, I think we had a couple screenshots where I was, like, within 10 or so points, and I posted them in OH Bobby, and I added him. And I was like, hey, Mike, just FYI. And
this is going to happen.
Just FYI. So, and then I got Depot SA41 on November 16th, and I got even closer. I posted another screenshot. And so
and it was like
I pretty much stayed in Depot from like September to the beginning of December.
Nice.
And so I ended up after that getting Depot 0049, which at the time was worth 75 points, and I that was the end of my excursion in Depot for a little while. For a little while.
Yep.
Can't really leave St. Petersburg though.
And the very next day was actually a very important day for two reasons. One, it was the 1-year anniversary of Mr. MustDash over there's runway 22. It was also the day I achieved runway 0039, which is what I used to pass Mike back.
So, like, dead on 12 months.
Yeah, dead on. Exactly to the day. 1 year to the day.
Yeah, it was pretty... I remember that DM very directly. It was a good day.
It was a good day, yes.
On the anniversary of the same level. You monster.
And the same level, yeah. And, you know...
Evil, truly evil.
The atrocities shall never be forgiven.
And so has there been any back and forth since then, or has Eric held on to the lead since?
No, I think once he passed me.
No, there was a little back and forth because
he passed me, and I ended up coming back with some surface times, I think.
Yeah. So I decided, well, 156s are bleeding. I have to do something about this. So mid-December is when a week or so after I got runway 0039, as much to my dismay and very begrudgingly, I headed back to St. Petersburg to clean up my streets times for 155s. And during this time, Mike was playing Surface. I got one of the 155s. I racked up a lead, but at the same time, in between the two 155s, he got both S1, SA, and 00 150, which was enough to pass me again, I believe.
Yeah.
And so which do you feel worse about, getting a depot warp or denying 156s, like bopping 156s?
I feel equally bad.
Yeah, I know.
I honestly do feel equally bad about them because that's really going to suck when 155s are the standards, because 155s are not fun.
Emotional attachment to the 156s.
I mean, it's not even so much that. It's just I feel like 156 is a very solid, good time for like
true.
people to go for streets, and like it's not going to be there anymore. Like it's almost passed away now.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm contributing to that as we speak.
Yeah, monster, you monster.
The Surface One 150s are a decent time too.
Yeah.
How'd you find 00 Agent compared to SA, Mike?
Wait, on Surface?
Yeah.
You mean? Did you say, or?
Yeah, on Surface One. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I definitely like SA more because like you can kind of get away with like more boosts. But I mean, 00 is still fun. It's just not exactly the same. It's still good. It's just kind of like, you know, when you get like an iced tea and you're like, oh, this iced tea is like a little bit watery, but still like a good iced tea. It's not optimal, but it's
right.
You know,
just too
good.
Easy to die. Too easy to die.
Yeah, Mike's been actively encouraging me to go play those, which I plan on doing because it's 130 points between the two, and that's just too lucrative for me to say no to.
Probably the funnest points I've ever went for, to be honest.
He says it's fun, allegedly. We'll see.
We like streets and the big strafing levels, right? So it's just that extended.
Yeah.
Well, you get like a run every time. There's no cutscene farming. There's like a few things that you can screw up, but it's all on you in the end. So if you're like decent, you can kind of just get a run. Like pretty much every
the GL
time,
pickups pure RNG.
Yeah, right there. Said if you're decent.
Just get some acid to dissolve the super glue that attaches that thing to the table. And the goddamn is stuck with like Gorilla Glue or something.
Yeah, it's like the key in the mainframe room on Depot on SA00. Like the key is literally.
Shit. I'm confused. I'm convinced that shit isn't even there half the time, and it's just a mirage to trick me to thinking that it's actually even there. Yeah. There is no safe there. It's just the safe's already open.
There is no spoon. There is no safe.
That's really it.
You certainly only touch the corner of it. You don't go deep into the safe.
Yeah.
It's because you were expecting to get shot in the face by the stupid drone, so of course I'm gonna turn away like I'm gonna get shot in the face, and then you just go right around the table like fucking Vacation Central. Yeah. Like you just don't know where you're going.
I actually kind of want to rewind because we did miss one thing. So back in January, the end of January, Mike mentioned this earlier. He got Depot 0049, which was a healthy point gain, which helped him get back to passing me. That was he went from 52 to 49. So that's
when I got my retro ting.
Good skip.
That's when I got 40. Yeah.
But at the end of that video, he said something which kind of lit a fire under me. So at the end of the video, he makes a comment.
Yeah.
The Eric tie.
Why did I have to say those stupid words? It's like, let's just have a shared time, shared real estate. We can live in the same duplex. No, burn down Mike's fucking side of the house. Can't even be friends. Just like, what's the smoke coming out of my room? It's like, no, don't worry. It's just cookies. It's just cookies. Just rapidly fanning it. Lighting the dumpster fire that is Depot 48. It's like, just casually pulling out the carpet from under you. Don't worry.
In that mid-year
never
review.
Never said the tie.
Yeah. In that mid-year review in June, I said, I'm not done with Depot, not by a long shot.
Yeah, not by a long shot. And I was like, fuck! Shouldn't have said anything. Should have been like, I'm just humbled that it wasn't a 50. Don't tie me, Eric, please. Oh wait, we're tied. I didn't know. Sweep that under the rug.
I was always going to go back to Depot, but that just made me want to go back more. I mean, like the Depot is kind of like one of the few levels I'm moderately kind of okay at. Like I knew 49 was gonna last. I mean, not last, but I mean, like it's not gonna hold up as well as I'd probably like, and I'd like a higher point time. So I always knew in the back of my mind I was gonna go for 40. Like 40 was the big one. Like 00 is always kind of like a more dicey proposition, but 00 is just a fucking trash bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It's like, again, like I like it. The movement's a lot of fun, but goddamn, is it trash? It's
just you never feel like you can just do everything right and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm. Remember how
nothing happens.
You remember how we were saying, like, like you always get like this part or this part, and they never all happen on the same run. Imagine that, but like times a million, and that's Depot 00. You have to have like 70,000 things go right in the same run.
It's probably like a fair few 00 levels, like Surface 2 00 is like that in a lot of ways too. Like if you
gotta run. It's like you gotta go to every objective, and every objective you gotta get struck by lightning, and that only happens like once a week. So you gotta like be so lucky with like, well, I guess I'll just get struck by lightning 3 times in one day, because 2 times in one day is not fucking lucky enough.
Nope.
How about that? Like, I'll just drink a bunch of rat poison and not die every single day of the week. Like just get that lucky. Like, just get a streak. Everything happens and you get lucky every time.
Which is the better pastime, drinking rat poison or speedrunning GoldenEye?
I mean, honestly,
it's controversial.
They're about equally painful, honestly. I don't know which one's more desirable. It's a toss-up, really.
You get that unique burning sensation in your heart either way.
True.
It's like acid reflux, but for your like GoldenEye soul.
Pretty much.
So you awakened the beast with your Depot 49.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I did either. I was just like, I did it. I got like, as I was, I would have taken a 50, but but
you had to go.
So happened to get a 49, and little did I know I was infringing on territory where I didn't belong.
No, it's not.
But not like you said.
But
you had it. You had it like you had it like in the back of your mind anyway. It was kind of like when I got 42. I knew I was going to go for 41 because I was pacing 41 on SA occasionally, but I just wanted to get out of Depot because I had been, before I left, I had been struggling with Depot. So when I came back and had a retro tank, I was like, all right, let's clean this up and get out of here. And
I hear that. I definitely was feeling that when I was going for 48. But like, even when, to your point, like even when I got 41 last year, I knew, like I always knew in the back of my mind, like 40 was a long-term goal. Just because 40 is kind of like a cool time, and it just, I don't know, it just feels.
It's a real staple time, yeah.
A real staple time, yeah.
Yeah, 40 is pretty solid.
It's just comfy.
Yeah, it's a good
very
time.
Comfy time.
Let's see, so you got your surface times, and a little bit after that, you got S2 Agent 47, which you continue to lead, and up to 900 points, and I'm still sitting at 700 something because after Streets, I kind of just did nothing, played RTA for a while. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. And then I made the choice to go back to St. Petersburg to the military archives.
Yeah.
To which I was stuck for 3 months.
Let's just dig deep on that one.
That's a pretty epic grind, 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Bled 20 points.
I mean, only half Mop's time, but wait till I take 9.
While Mike over here was getting S247 and Cradle 35, he's racking up points. He's at like 920, I'm like 700 something. But then Mike took a break.
Another hiatus.
Then Mike took another hiatus.
And he's still holding the lead, though.
Sure was too bad. I needed to get like an RGB.
Yeah, he was still holding the lead because I was still stuck in archives jail, unfortunately. But in June, in early June, on the 5th, I finally escaped from archives
you
jail.
You busted out with authority.
How many 16 fails did it take?
11.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
At least knowing that you can pace it, that would be like true like confidence, I feel. That's my main problem with archives is not knowing exactly what I'm doing wrong, because it's such a short level, so you can be doing something wrong that's so like minuscule, and that's what's causing you to not be able to pace the 16. And that's
And
if I could pace 16.
What really helped me getting it actually was Ted's splits ROMs. So I was able to use that to actually piece together to see that I had the pace to get 16. So you just run that on EverDrive and saw that I could actually had the pieces for 16. I just needed to string it together in the run.
Like, for me, like, the first couple times I paced 16, I was like, oh yeah, cool, I paced 16. And then, like, you know...
Yeah, then it becomes like to finish with that, though, you know?
Just God damn
finish
it,
with that 16?
Yeah.
Natalia, please?
And it ended up taking a fucking boost, but it's 16 to 16. I have said, I've gone on record saying that some of my runs are the most scuffed, controversial, dumpster fire runs. They always end up being, like, the one. Not my archives. My archive 16 is actually pretty alright. Which is like
pretty
wow, that sounds like a real compliment from Eric on his own run.
Jeez,
coming from me.
Calm down there, Julius Caesar.
Does it only have like 4 boosts or something?
Yeah, I mean, it might as well. No.
Did you use 2.4 and stand on your head?
I did not. No, because I did not use 2.4. I'm not going to throw shade. I was about to throw shade at 2.4 archives, but I
Man, I suck so bad at archives. I'm considering 2.4. Like, I'm so deep. I swear to God, I'm just better at 2.x than I am at 1.2. So I might as well just commit to the full 2.4 lifestyle.
If you want to just get the time, then yeah, probably. I mean, there's a lot of leeway. I've seen some pretty questionable first rooms that are still 16. That's my terrible way of putting it. They're still because of 2.x. But if you actually, I personally found, and from my experience, like, I went through hell to get Archive 16. It sucked. It was not fun, but I feel like the experience that I got, like, was a huge boost to my 1.2 OCB. And
that's the one reason why I feel 1.2 would be truly worth it.
Like, despite all the shit I went through, all the times I was on the brink of, like, joking about, like, doing unspeakable things. Like, keep it steamy here. It was worth it. Like, I'm glad I did 1.2. I really am.
That's why. As much as I'd consider it, I like 2.4 is not something I want to live in the long run. So
there's I guess there's nothing wrong with playing 2.4 if you want to just get the time. But I don't know. I think, unlike any of the other boring 4, there's an argument to be made about whether to do it 1.2 or 2.4. I think for the other ones, there's no argument to be made. Like B1, if you're playing Old Strat, just 1.2. And when I say 1.2 for B1, I mean just strictly 1.2 Old Strat, no 2.4 ending. Obviously, if you're doing half level on 1.2, but like if you're playing B1 Old Strat or you're playing like Dam or Runway 1.2, you're handicapping yourself, in my opinion. And there's no argument, in my opinion, to be playing those. Archives, I think there's a legitimate discussion to be had, and I've always said this. I've always said that I think that there's at least a legitimate discussion to be had about what style to play with archives. That's just my 2 cents as a player. Take that as you will.
So we're kind of getting towards the 2-year anniversary of the MMD Runway 22. Where do we think where do we think things are going to stand at that point in time?
Geez, I don't even know. It's really hard to tell. It just depends on how fast we bring in the times, but you know.
I mean, like my current goal. I'm trying to make a shot towards top 100, and I'm inching my way towards there. I'm at 120th right now. That's my ultimate goal, is to be comfortably in top 100 eventually, but we'll see how long that takes.
To where you get to. Have you got any particular goals that are standing out for you, Mike?
I mean, it'd be nice to go for top 100, but I don't like to put any like true pressure on anything.
Yep.
Like the one thing I was kind of concrete about was getting top 150, and I found once I got where I am about right now, like even though I lost like 60 or 70 points during summer league, I think I only dropped like two actual like point ranks. So I feel like I'm at the point where I'm not like gonna be where all the serious, like super serious players are, but I passed a lot of the older players who aren't playing as much anymore, so I won't be getting bopped like up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm kind of like happy that I'm sitting at this little bit of a leeway, but I still would like to make the push to keep going forward and get more times. That being said, I'm decently happy with what I've got, but because I don't want to focus on wanting something too hard, but I'm definitely gonna keep going for it. If I just don't see myself not being able to get top 100 if I keep at it, but it just depends on the time. Is the thing. How long will it take is going to depend on how long I really...
And there keeps being new players pop up to make the top 100 harder, you know, like... how much was... Like, do you know how much top 100 was when you guys started getting points and when you joined the ranks?
No, but it was a lot less now. It's a lot more now, rather.
Yeah, probably 11 or 1,200. Now it's like 16.
Yeah, I reckon it was 1,300 when I started looking at the ranks. And what do you need? You need 1573 to bop Treble Clough out of the top 100. So.
40 I see 40's question in chat.
But yeah, I guess I have started to get questions from chat. But is there any other kind of stories that you guys want to share before we go to chat questions?
Trying to think, like, basically where it stands right now is like after basically just trying to put a cap on it. Where we're at now from where we left off, basically all they have, I got Depot 40, which is what I passed Mike back with, and then I went on to have like what was probably my greatest weekend of the Elite, where I got both Archives 55s and Depot 24 in one weekend, and I simultaneously also...
That's a pretty good weekend.
Unhoarded my 25 that I got in October of last year.
Except for the Warp, that's a good weekend.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
True.
I'll stop giving you shit about it one day. Probably when I become a dirty warper too.
No, I need to live with the shame of being a dirty warper. I deserve all the shame. Then after that, I think Depot 48 was, no, I got SUSA 56 and then Depot 48, I think. And so I'm sitting at 11 something. MMD is like around 900. So I mean, like, we're not too far in. He's going for streets. And that's going to cut into, when he gets both streets, that's going to cut into the lead. Like,
yeah. That would be the thing. If I could get 155s pretty quick, that'd be a nice jump. But you're also really close to Bunker 2, Agent 24. So I feel like if you get that, that's gonna take the wind out of the sails. And I'm not particularly grinding for 155s like really hard, but you know, I've like done the level before, so it's probably not gonna take too long before I kind of like dust, you know, kind of dust off the you know, the dustiness kind of a thing.
No, I mean, I saw you playing today, and you got a handful of 156s. But yeah, like, you know, it doesn't take a while. It's just like getting back on a bike, you know. But It sucks. Like, they're not fun levels. It's not that they're even particularly hard levels, like, to grind. They're just really fucking aggravating. Like, I played a lot of levels. I played a lot of levels, and there's something like uniquely aggravating about Streets SAW. I don't know what it is, but it's so fucking. It's like one of the most fucking tilting things.
Yeah. Like I streamed it earlier today, and I got like 2 or 3 clips of just me screaming at the grenade launcher guards and just all this other stupid shit. And I'm like, okay, this is just like free pain. Like, anyone want some? It's just free.
Infuriating.
It's pure for the taking. It's in abundance, by the way. I could sell this like for just pennies. I could give it away for free.
No, they're really not fun levels, and like a lot of it, like, it obviously lines have a lot to do with it, but a lot of it's just like literally just playing the casino. Like, my advice when I was like watching Kratos go for him is like, you really just want to be able to like churn out those 14 switches. You want to be able to put coins in the slot machine as much as you can to try to like, to try to like have. Because at the end of the day, Streets is just a giant slot machine. Like, you just put the coin in and you hope the.
Gotta get those switches.
Like, and like, there are certain things you can do. Like, I personally found it valuable to farm for 1 boost starts. Other people would
I could
say
do that.
Other people would say no, just play out every run. But like for me, like, while it is technically possible to get 155 with like a 13.7, 13.8, 13.9 switch.
That's really.
Personally,
I find I get 156s on those.
I would rather like run the score up as much as I can in the beginning.
Yeah.
Try to make
you want like a juicy switch
to make the second half of the casino part not as bad.
No, you're gonna get fucked at some point. It's just if you can minimize it to any extent.
My essay was literally a 14 flat. My essay was a 14 flat, 51 flat, and I literally got so fucking lucky because they're both KF7. They're both double KF7 runs. On both of them actually, I got through the second set with no backs. And on the first one, on my essay, I was literally on ghost health. So if like I got breathed on, I was gonna pass away. But I made the body armor. Yeah, no, it's literally just about grinding out a run where you don't get fucking like obliterated at the first set or the second set or the KF7 set, any KF7 set really.
So if we look at where we kind of stand today, it's Eric 24, MMD 27 with 9 draws, and most of those, well, not most of them, but Eric basically has the St. Petersburg sweep except for Train.
Oh, yes.
As we've been talking
and
about.
And that it shall remain. I pretty much guarantee you.
I mean, I'm actually surprised that he doesn't have more bots on me. I was fully expecting it to be like 36-13 or some shit.
Aaron, let's have a look at any of these draws going to change soon.
One of my...
Oh, you go, Mike.
Yeah. Just in between one of my like hiatuses, I kind of worked a little bit on my time ranks just because I was feeling like playing GoldenEye, but my capture wasn't as good, so I didn't want to play for points. And
Yep. That's how you were able to like you literally just like I think you're like in top 1 time ranks now. Like you're like a half an hour ahead of me or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Before you were like smoking me on like all the other time ranks, and then I just kind of got bored for a couple days. And I worked on a lot of the levels that I didn't like to play. Like I think I cut like 40 seconds off a damn double low, and like I cut like 40 or 50 seconds off of like silo or something. Like I did a few things.
And then you played a bunch of the levels like after Depot that I can't be bothered to play. Like in jungle.
You've also played. You also have a few other levels that are like that too, where I just I'm like, yep, I'm never gonna bop that, so why even try?
Yeah, like you got.
Because I just stuck so much on control, I can't even beat your agent control time at all. I just leave it.
Which I literally just said on my. I think that 421 that I said on my birthday. That's my my tradition of 1 PR per birthday, even though thus far they've been shitty. Last year was Facility 53. This year is Control 421.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
You haven't skipped the weed number though, so you're keeping that in the pocket.
That was the shame.
Yeah, would have been tragic.
If I had just hit a warp, I would have landed on the LOL weed number. If I just hit the goddamn warp in the elevator.
Just looking through here, there's one tie that kind of seems, there's two ties that seem a touch out of place. The rest of them seem quite reasonable, but Surface 107 is a tie.
Yeah, that's like hilarious. Honestly, I don't know how that is so like.
And Bunker 1.
I should just play that. I should play it to get 106 and then just go through 102, and I just regret many life choices.
And Bunker 138 is a tie as well.
Yeah, that one's so odd. Like, I guess we just haven't played the level, but how did we both stop playing the level, like, coincidentally?
I tried. I did try. Like, there was a while where everybody in OH was playing Bunker 1 SA, and, like, they're like, yeah, I got 25 and 24.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I think I remember that, too.
I tried. My PR is 38. I mean, it feels bad, man. I'm literally so shit at the level, I can't beat 38. I tried, though.
I think one time I was like goofing with it, and I was like, oh, I think that was like kind of a decent run. That was pretty decent. Maybe that's like a 32 or like maybe a 31 or like, and it was like a 30 fucking like 6, and I was like, what? I did what everyone did. How was that horrible? And let me tell you, it was horrible. It was just you never really realize how slow it is until you watch it back and you're like, yeah, that could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you really don't realize how hard some of those levels there.
We've only had one question come in from chat, which was QWERTY, fresh new Mario Kart 64 world record holder, I might add.
Oh, is he? Congrats, QWERTY.
Yes, he's the
oh goddamn! Congrats,
the
dude.
Toad's Turnpike single lap untied world record holder, if I understand the situation correctly. So congrats to our boy QWERTY.
Congrats, QWERTY.
Eric, what kind of life support are your headphones from Runway 22 on?
So, actually, speaking of my Runway 22, I'm going to self-promote here just for a second. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of my Runway 22, actually. So
today is the, 3-year anniversary of you joining? Yesterday was 1-year anniversary of Runway 22, right? Yeah. Cool.
Yes. So I got Runway 22 1 day short of my 2 years. Yeah. So this is what the headphones look like on the floor after I violently threw them off my head. They still work. That's the thing. Like, they still work. They're fragile, and the little mechanism, like where you slide them, is basically not a thing. Like it's shot, but like they still technically work. I can hear out of them.
Dude, they look like they're wet noodles, Eric. Did you throw those in the oven for like 45 minutes and put them on simmer or something? They look like raviolis.
Yeah, they kind of were. I threw them off my head pretty violently when I popped off.
You crushed every like bone in them, so now you pick them up and they're like flaccid like a squid or something.
Yeah, ragdoll effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to be really careful, like when I'm putting them on, to make sure that like they don't slide off. So I'll have to put the little cup back on.
They just like fit in so perfectly. Just slides right on, and they're supported by the beautiful gravity of the earth. I bet they're like good. They're probably like good quality though. They got to be like good sound quality in the long run.
They actually are pretty. They're pretty decent sound quality. Yeah, they're good. I've had these headphones for years, so they've served me very well. I've had these probably for like a year or two. Like, so like even if they were to pass away tomorrow, like they've served me very well for a
Well, they've lived in afterlife for 367 days. Then, if they pass away tomorrow,
yeah.
David's got a good question in chat, which is, what's the favorite time that each of you have gotten?
I don't know. Honestly, like, in a way, pretty much every time I've gotten, they're not my favorite, but they all felt like good. You know what I mean? Because they were all like felt like I worked for them. Most of the, I mean, I don't think I like just waltzed through a lot of my times. Like I had to put like at least a couple days or like at least a couple sessions like refining what I was doing. So it never felt like I just super stumbled into it super easily. Or like, you know, I felt like I somewhat deserved it in the long run.
I think my favorite MMD time has got to be probably S2 Agent 47.
That was a good one.
Is that for the reaction?
It is a good
reaction
run.
Was pretty decent.
And the reaction, in terms of my own,
pretty decent.
There are 3 runs that I think that would pass the pretty alright test, or 2 runs I can think of off the top of my head that passed the pretty alright test, and that would be Runway Agent 22 and Archive 16 probably. Depot 40 is cool, and I'm really happy I have it. I just always in the back of my mind kind of wish it wasn't as much of a dumpster fire but like I'm glad I have that, and that's really cool. And then I guess those 3 probably.
Yeah, I do feel that probably, I would have to say Runway 22 was probably like my favorite in the long run because it was like my first world record, even though I don't have it anymore as a world record.
Fucking Berg.
But, like that, like the Bergman,
the Madman.
Yeah, like that. That's like a feeling like that I want like again. You know what I mean? That like world record feeling. It's so fucking crazy.
You mean that?
Have you got anything in mind that you're interested in playing?
Well, I definitely. Well, I mean, I have Cradle 35. I would have had a 34 if I didn't suck really bad and only play it for like 2 hours. But I think I might want Cradle 33 at some point. I don't know when I want to fully grind for it. I feel like it's an actual world record that I could get, or I might even try like Surface 2 Agent 46. But that is probably like more down the line, I'm thinking. But that's a kind of like low key, not even really that bad of a level. Like, you know, it's really it sucks for completions because you're just like you're not exactly sure if you're gonna get them all the time. But in terms of like it being stressful, it's not. You just chill and throw the mine, you know. And if you get lucky, you get lucky. Like, I mean, it's not all luck. Like, it's obviously like timing and shit like that. But when you're learning it, it's like, I don't know. It's more of a fun learning experience because you don't have to like worry about like clutching every single run. You can just, you know, learn it at your own pace. Although I don't know, maybe some people are just getting shit I can't hit.
If you mentioned Cradle 33s, would you just do Agent or would you try to go for the sweep?
You know, I would probably dedicate myself to try to get Agent 33, then hop on to SA and 00 for probably 34. I mean, if 33 happened, then it would happen, but I would probably play SA and 00 at least till I got 35 or 34. I can't say that with 100% certainty, but I feel like that would be kind of like a worth it kind of a deal. Like, I guess because, I don't know, I can still kind of like play it from time to time.
Yeah, 33, 34, 34 would still get you leaderboards, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be quite a few points. And from what I understand, it's a little bit different between Agent and Secret Agent and 00 because you need like more accurate shots on Trev. So
well, Chrissy G is pretty handy in dishing out the advice, and Irie as well on 33s. I think there.
I think we're gonna change solicited advice to Cradle Help.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to the staff about that. I think we're gonna officially change that to the Cradle helpline.
Yeah, I think that would probably be recommended.
Just literally everybody in OH seems to be playing fucking Cradle right now.
No thanks.
I've never been more collectively disappointed with everybody.
Naz, would you like to level shame them?
I would not.
It's just like, I don't know, it's like a little boring, I guess, but...
A little?
Well, I mean, what... More so than Frigate? I don't know, like... It's kind of the same deal, really.
I literally spent hours running into a wall, so...
Yeah, I mean... Think of the physical pain you put Bond through. He's not meant to fit through that tiny little crack here. You just, like, made him convert through that wall through osmosis or something.
Listen,
quantum tunneling.
Pick it up with fucking Scorpion.
Yeah, you had to put like Bond on a particle level and like transport him into this like primordial realm and force him through that goddamn wall, that little crack. Horrible, man.
You're a terrible
Just run
person,
around
Eric.
like every other normal like sentient being. You gotta like transform into like the fourth dimension and like, oh, that door doesn't exist. Won't walk right through it.
So we're wrapping this up on just Eric being a terrible person. Is that where this finishes?
You know, I thought that was the consensus of the entire stream, wasn't it?
You're not. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all you're wrong. I'm not
For all we know, he's hoarding other times.
Oh.
Once you're hoarding once, you're on dial for hoarding other times. He's like secretly got Bunker 24, and he's like, oh man, I switched to the different version because I like the lag better, but secretly he's fucking got it.
I mean,
I know it.
I mean, I have been known to do times that I have before, so you know.
I just like the way the lag feels on the Japanese version. It's not like anything at all. I'm just playing it for fun. I'm just doing like my 19th archives dupe. No reason really.
Listen. It's been 7 whole days since I've had an archives dupe. I don't know what to do with myself.
Make sure to bring that up at the next archives meeting and get your 7-day calendar.
I have a calendar over here to mark when my last fix was.
You've like, gone full speedrunner at that point.
A back boost was 16. It's like, you need that perfect coffee, like a 2 out of 3. Or, you know, a 4 out of 5 coffee ain't good enough. You need that 5 out of 5 coffee.
I need to get a boostless Archive 16, just because.
It's like
you don't have a boostless one.
Damn 53. Oh no! But honestly, I truly understand why you go for archives because it's like it's such a short, quick little, like you know.
Yeah, fun little warm up.
You can just like, yeah, you can bop out runs and like. It really feels rewarding when you get the movement right, even though I don't know exactly what that feels like, you know, but when I have played it, there's like little parts that even if you don't do them that well, it feels like you're really doing something and you're moving.
Even just dropping out a sequence of nice 17s in a row feels pretty good.
Yeah, I you know, let's just pretend I know what that feels like. And, you know, I'll move on
if you decide to grind it, you'll get there.
What's that? Oh, sorry, greener pastures over here. I don't know what that feels like, Cal. Sorry. I'm just joking. I'm sorry.
So MMD, when's the Archive 16?
Oh, fucking probably after a while. I don't know. I want to like commit to it at some point, but I don't see myself just like walking out of there with like the explosion behind me and I like throw on the shades. I'm gonna be walking out of there with like half of a spine left and like my brain hanging out of my ear and I'm gonna be like, I got it, guys. 17-hour grind later. My thumb is broken now and my other hand is actually made of Play-Doh, but I got it.
If you walk out of there with a 17-hour grind,
I'd take that.
I'd take that.
Oh, it's gonna be like so skin of my teeth. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, they always are. I mean, like, I'm sure.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those. I don't even think I have it, and we're like, that could be a decent run. but I've had like 93 other runs today that I thought were maybe okay.
Do you guys have anything else you want to add in before we wrap up?
Well, and I mean, like, it'll be interesting to see where the rivalry goes in 2020. It's been reignited through both of us, firing shots at each other, passing each other,
True.
passing each other back, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
See it comes out on top.
Hopefully we can both push up the ranks.
Yeah, I really. Yeah, I really feel it's much like when we were first rivals and we were just cutting time ranks left, right, and center. Now it's got to the more refined state where we're not like the most competitive, rivalry or anything. But it's just good like motivation in the long run, and it makes you feel better when people get times.
I have a chart over here how I can bop MMD. How I can.
It's just like best percentages for possible scheming. All the arrows point to like
get 90 pointer, bully MMD, get top 100, get tied world record.
Well, thanks for coming on. I've had a good time talking shit with you too.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
That's been good.
Thanks for having us on, Cal.
Well, let's see. I think Dusky is. I think Dusky is streaming, so he might kick a raid over his way. But
he's waiting for S247.
Yeah. Yes. Watch out. All right.
Nice.
Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you all later.
Catch you guys later.
Thanks for all the people in chat. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Thanks, guys.